So, while scrolling through my Steam games, I saw Stardew Valley. Last playing it over a year ago, well, before making this video, I got the urge to play it. Like, the urge to play it. Originally, I wanted to do a challenge run, but as you can tell by the title, this isn't a challenge run video. So, deciding off on that, I scrolled through YouTube and realized I could do a year of playing Stardew Valley. Now, just like any other video, a few restrictions, no duping items. Alright, that's it. So, starting our journey of, hopefully, becoming the richest man on Earth, starting our game, we first have to create our character. Naming our character, Bingo Maku, because who doesn't want the name of a fancy person? I think. Naming the farm, I picked Subscribe because I'm unoriginal and a sellout. Having to put my favorite thing down, I was contemplating between battery acid and cat. I ended up picking cat. Putting my favorite farm animal to a cat, I could customize my character, going for a suit on him. Afterwards, realizing the pants are a bit off color. Finally, all I have to do is pick my farm. I was honestly confused for which one to pick. Doing a little bit of research, I found the Four Corners farm to be the best one. Finishing up, now we can actually start. But before starting, we need some goals and restrictions. So, like I said before, no duping since that would take away from the challenge. If you could call this a challenge. Complete the community center, since that's basically half the progression system. Finally, since there are 5 separate skill sets, I'll only be going over major levels, like level 5 and 10 of those respected skills, since you get to choose between 2 separate buffs. But with the screen fading to black, I could see my dying grandfather handing me an envelope, which is what I could only assume to be the property rights of his farm. Taking a short bus ride, I started on day 1 by meeting with the local carpenter who shows me the way to my house. Day 1 officially starts. For some reason, I was in bed. Opened a gift containing 15 parsnips. Just like any other start to this game, I started out clearing an area for all the parsnips to go. I planted them, watered them. Going into town, I looked through some garbage cans and find a thing of cookies inside. Going inside Pierre's shop, I used the $500 I have to buy more parsnips and plant them with the rest of my others. Continuing clearing out the surrounding area, destroying trees, rocks, wood, and grass. Before going to bed, I planted extra seeds I got from clearing out the surrounding area and making a chest to throw my unneeded materials in. However, before I'm able to finish watering my plants, I collapse from exhaustion. Having only half energy from the night before, I use that to water my plants. I attempt to forage, only for it to result in a handful of daffodils and a seashell from the beach. Going back to my cabin to put the seashells in the shipping bin, which sells crops or unwanted items, I used the rest of my day to break down grass and get more random seeds to plant, as well as having some copper nuggets from a node. Planting the seeds, I get exhausted to where I have to walk everywhere. Slowly walking over to my mail, I get a letter to tell me to head down towards the beach the following day. Over the night, I gain $190. Waking up on a rainy day, it spared me from watering my crops, and Clint, the local blacksmith, gave me some furnace blueprints. Using this effectively, I take down the surrounding trees and wanted items obscuring my land, using the rest of the day for foraging items to sell, or to use for the bundles later on, which I'll explain once I get to that point. Met a guy named Willie, which is the local fisherman, giving me a bamboo fishing rod for free. Since it was raining and didn't have anything better to do, I decided to just fish. Selling a seashell, I got $100 from it. After watering my crops, I ran off and foraged some leeks in the ground. Selling a few later on, going to Pierre's, I bought a green bean plant, cauliflower, and a potato. Planted and watered them. After that, I just went to bed since I don't have enough energy for anything else. Over the night, I gained a little bit of money from the leek I sold. Walking outside my house, my original parsnips were fully grown and could be harvested. Kept a gold star parsnip for later on. Going to bed, I made bank. Waking up, I bought a bunch of potatoes and planted them. Going to the community center, it opened up and me and Louis went inside. While inside, we found this weird apple-looking thing. Going over to the mine, it was opened and went inside. There was a guy named Marlin who gave me a free sword. Going into the mine, managed to get down to 4 floors before passing out. Day 7, I woke up to the crows munching on my crops. I decided that now was a good time to make a scarecrow. Picking up my fully grown potatoes, I threw them inside the selling thing, mined a little. Then, going into the community center, there was something laying on the floor. Reading it was straight gibberish. Backing out, I then headed to the river to spend the rest of my day fishing. Waking up to watering my crops and picking my ready to harvest potatoes, I checked my mail and got a very super secret letter from the wizard. Somehow, knowing that I was snooping around the community center. Going to meet the wizard, he got me higher than a kite on some sort of honestly, I don't even know. Faded would be an understatement. Got more parsnips to plant, and did just that. Using some leftover sap, I turned it into some improved soil and placed it down. Following that, I had nothing else to do and just mined for the rest of the day, getting down to level 5. Hooray. Over the night, a fairy came to my farm and blessed it with improved plant growth, making a few $100s overnight from my potatoes, and a decent majority of my farm being grown. I picked them out and watered the ones that weren't fully grown. While walking around town, I went to Haley's house and gave her a dandelion, and definitely didn't wait outside her door to come out. After that, I went to buy more crops, planting more parsnips and potatoes. Day 10, going outside, I was stopped by Marnie and asked me to adopt a cat, naming it Frank. I took him, I think, or she, in my house, and waited outside Haley's door. Again, listen, it's not what it looks like. Afterwards, I used a day to go farther into the mine, reaching level 10. Day 11, I picked up a quest from Robin in the mail. She had me go and find her lost axe. Definitely didn't do a quick Google search to find out where this was. While on my way there were these 2 kids that found a monster in the sewer. Moving along, I found Robin's axe and returned it to her. Going to Pierre's shop, I used the saved up money to buy a better backpack, then going mining again, reaching level 15. Going out to the farm, a majority of my plants were grown and could harvest them. While walking through the town, I found a whole ass cake in the garbage. Went back to the farm and spent the rest of the day cleaning up the surrounding, and even went to Robin's place to buy a wood and stone floor pattern. Placing a little pathway down, I went to bed following that. Day 13, I woke up to an egg festival. While they were setting it up, I wasn't able to enter the town, so I just waited, and while waiting I continued working on the farm. Finally being able to go to the festival, I talked to everyone there and bought a flamingo. Talking to Linus, I could partake in the egg hunt. Lining up, I saw that I was only going up against a handful of people, some even being children, and I know I'm gonna destroy them. Finishing the hunt, it was a complete landslide with me coming in first place. How do I know that it was a landslide? Just take my word for it, achieving my prize of a straw hat, which will be the only thing I will wear from the rest of this year. Day 14, since it was raining, I didn't need to water my crops, but picked a few that were fully grown. And then going to the river and just focusing on trying to catch catfish. It didn't happen. Moving on, I continued working on my base and making an actual pathway. Going to Pierre's, I got there too late, it was closed. Day 15, getting up, raining again. So I just used this time for a miscellaneous quest, like the community center, and now to actually explain what the community center does. So you fill out bundles for specific groups like mining and fishing, where you get rewards from it, like being able to access the desert or accessing the minecarts for quicker travel. But moving on. So, going in and throwing my collection of saved items ranging from plants to fish. Afterwards, I fished and bought some more crops to plant. Homing out an area to put them, I planted them and called it a day. Day 16, literally I just watered crops. That's it. I mean, except for mining, which on my way home I passed out. Day 17, I woke up to searching online for ways to make money. I realized that getting Caroline to 2 hearts, she would send tea tree recipe in the mail, which you could sell a single thing for $500. Did I mention that all you need to make it is just 5 wood, 5 grass, and 2 of any seasoned seed? Giving a gift to Caroline, I followed that with foraging the local salmonberry bushes. Day 18, checking the weather channel, saying that it was going to rain tomorrow. So, while walking through town, I went to the community center and dropped some stuff off for the fish bundle. There was a cutscene with Linus where he was digging through trash, and of course, I had to side with him. Going back to the farm, I placed tappers on trees and went to bed. Waking up, I could harvest my parsnips and sell them. Talking to Caroline, I gained my first heart with her. Going mining and getting down to level 20. Leaving, I headed back to the farm and placed down more tappers. Day 20. Fish and mine. That's it. I didn't even gain 5 levels in the mine. Yeah. Day 21 to summer 1. So, my recording broke. I was recording for 2 hours and it captured none of it. All I can say is sorry. Listen, I had no idea this was going to happen, but I'll summarize everything that happened. So, going in order, I reached level 5 in farming and got a tiller. The flower dance happened, and I finished upgrading the watering can to bronze. Got 2 hearts with Caroline. Upgraded my pickaxe to bronze. For summer, I planted a bunch of blueberries for my main source of income. hops for kegs, which would turn into pale ale, which could be sold, melon, and corn, as well as a pepper and tomato plant. Demetrius came to my house and let me choose what to put in the cave, either bats for fruit or just mushrooms. Obviously picking the bats, and started to upgrade my axe, and completed the spring foraging bundle and plant bundle. Alright, I think we're caught up. Day 2, I mined, got my axe back from the blacksmith, and broke the tree in the middle of my farm. Completed the summer foraging bundle, unlocking the vault, I ran over and completed the first bundle for a 2,500 gold deposit. Then, I mined getting to level 50. Day 4 to 9, I mined. Reaching level 80 and leveling up to miner level 5, I picked miner, which would give me a boost or gain from a node. I saved up all the previous few days of community center items and took them all in one haul, throwing a few foraging items and more into the necessary bundles, and completing the entirety of the boiler room. The little apple things came out to say hi and followed me around. Day 10, I went to the blacksmith and opened my geodes, throwing anything that I could into the library and getting a few things of furniture. Then, I just wandered around the rest of the day, like aimlessly. Day 11, Lulu event happened. I missed it. I missed it. I don't know how I missed it, but I missed it. Day 12, checking the weather, it said it was going to rain tomorrow, and having some spared iron bars, I decided it would be a perfect time to upgrade my watering can. Now, day 13, my corroding corrupted, but all I did was fish and mine, so not that important. Day 14, I woke up to a majority of my blueberries were grown, fished the rest of the day, even catching a puffer fish for the bundle. Going to bed, I made out with $16,000. Day 15, I went to the community center, throwing a random mix of things in, then buying the $5,000 bundle, and guess what? I mined and passed out on floor 90. Day 16, I started the day off with creating more tea leaves and destroying the ecosystem around me. I just cut down some trees. Realized that my tomato plant was, not a tomato plant. It was a melon plant. I misbought it. Buying a new one, I planted it, and using the remaining summer seeds from the tea leaves, I planted them as well, and called it a day. I then leveled up over the night in foraging and pick gather, which doubled my harvest. Day 17, I mined all the way to level 100. While on my way down, I found squid ink and a strange bun. I'm not sure why, but I felt like I needed to say this. Day 18, I forgot to hit the record button. I died in the mines. This day really doesn't matter. But I did get genie boots, so. Day 19, first thing I did with all the saved up money, especially from the blueberries, I purchased the remaining bundles needed for the bus and mined up to 105. Over the night, I leveled up to 8 in farming and finally unlocked the keg. 20 to 22. I used day 20, 21, and 22, well, 49, 50, and 51 in the grand scheme of just getting materials for kegs. Mining for copper and iron, then chopping down trees and making my first kegs. Huzzah. Since I've been stockpiling a lot of hops now, I get to turn it into pale ale and sell it, which isn't my main source of income, but still a very fruitful one, and one that I'll be utilizing every day until I run out of hops. 23 to 24. Through these 2 days, I'm really just focused on getting through and done with the mine. Since I unlocked the desert, my goal now is just to get to Skull Key at 120. Hey, I got the Skull Key. Also Space Boots, but those aren't as important. Day 25, I go to the desert, finally. Going there, I looked around and found a trader that's selling a random assortment of items. Going south, I find a path with a light pink building. Going in, I'm greeted by a clerk that is very surprised and thankful for the bus to be back in order. Looking through her goods, they're mainly things for summer, which kinda makes sense for being in a desert. Going up north, I entered the Skull Caves with the key that I got, and I'm dead, instantly. I didn't make it past the first floor. Waking up in the hospital, I run over to the Adventurers Guild and buy better equipment. With all the money I've saved up from the blueberries to pale ales, I buy a lava katana and a ruby ring for $15,000. Going back to the desert, I head into Skull Caves again, having a much better run this time, making it down to level 15, and I'm dead. Day 26, hopping back on the bus and heading back into the Skull Caves, making it to level 29. You know, this run might be pretty good. And I'm dead again. And I've lost my sword. Great. Day 27. Mainly all that was important was getting my sword back from Marlin. Day 28, I woke up to my tomato fully grown, the last thing needed for the summer bundle. Later that night, there was a jellyfish dance, but before it was open, I used this time to try and catch my final fish needed, the sturgeon. And I can't catch it. Going to the jellyfish dance, I see all the different kinds of jellyfish, and that's it. I mean, what did I expect? It is a jellyfish dance. Day 1 of fall. I didn't record this. How'd you forget to record this? Listen, man, I don't know. But Anyways, all I did was just buy pumpkins and make sprinklers. Day 2, going into town, Robin put up a community quest board, a special orders board. After that, I went and opened up some geos, getting not the best of items, but it doesn't really matter. Then, I just went to the desert, since I had nothing better to do, and died again, losing my katana sword. Again. Day 3 to 6. My recording broke. How does this keep happening? So, really, I just built a chicken coop, that's it. That's the only progress I made. Day 7. I started clearing out an area for my chicken coop and barn to go. Going up to Robin's, I actually bought the barn and ended up chilling at my farm and finding a pomegranate in my bat cave. Using it, I finished a bundle. Then, using the rest of my money to buy wheat and a better backpack. Using that better backpack, I mined, and when getting back to my house, I made another furnace. Day 8. Where do I start? I planted wheat, and using this wheat, I will be making beer with it. I planted a yam and eggplant that I bought. Turned all the fiber and extra seeds I had into tea trees and sold a ton, making $15,000. Day 9, I got a letter that reminded me that Stardew Valley Fair will be held, and guess what I did for the rest of this day? I hoed the ground for a dwarven school, getting both 1 and 4. Day 10, I woke up, and now with both my barn and coop completed, I bought chickens. Cows, naming them, very good names. Then spent the rest of my day in mines, getting the last 2 needed dwarven scrolls, and also a strange doll. Day 11. After dealing with my animals, then heading to the library and turning my scrolls, I can now speak dwarven. Learning this, I went to the dwarf and bought bombs. Then headed to the desert to spend the rest of the day. Day 12. It was raining. I collected my wheat that grew, went to the desert, and died. I spent day 13 just making my basic better. Now that I had a farm building, I took this time to build pathways to them, and that such, as well as cleaning up a little bit. Day 14. For today, I replanted my wheat and placed down a iridium sprinkler, then made more sprinklers to make it easier on me. Day 15. Raining. Having my pumpkins fully grown, I picked them and sold them, however, saving 5 for the fall bundle. Upgraded my chicken coop, which, once upgraded, would allow me to have ducks. Then, I used a day to fish for needed fishes for the bundle. After catching the needed ones, I made my way to the community center to deposit them, finishing up a few bundles. Over the night, I made $40,000. Day 16, the fair arrived in Stardew. I definitely didn't gamble. After making my money, the right way, hardworking, I bought a star drop and some hay. Then, it was time for the main event. Putting up your assortment of show and tell items. Then, the ranking happened, and I got 3rd. Day 17, I had a heart event with Haley, finding her bracelet for her, and that's about it. Day 18, harvested my wheat, then, going to Robin's, I bought another upgrade for the animal houses, this time being for the barn, which would allow me to have goats. Then, I bought wheat and bok choy seeds, planted and watered them. Over the night, leveled up to 10 in farming and got the artisan perk. Day 19, I went to the community center to complete a few things. Following that, I made sprinklers and just went to the desert for the rest of the day. Then, overnight, a fairy came and, well, you already know what a fairy does. Day 20, having both my coop and barn done, I used the saved up money to purchase ducks and goats, ending my day off with a run to the community center and completing a bundle. Day 21, I got a rabbit's foot from the traveling market. That's it. Day 22, waking up, both my bok choy and wheat were done and could be harvested. Then, repeated the same process of buying more bok choy and wheat, then planting it. Also put some grass starters down for my farm. Day 23, I went to the desert and died. Day 24, since it rained, I went to the desert again, but I didn't die this time, reaching the farthest I've been so far, 67, then bought an ancient geode type thing. Day 25, while tending to my farm animals like every other day, though today I got a large egg. Then went to the community center to throw a majority of my animal products in there. Day 26, I upgraded my house and axe to iron. Day 27 to winter day 1, in the morning Emily came up to me and gave me access to her sewing kit. Going over to my animals, I got a large goat milk from him, and hey, guess what? My recording glitched again. So you're probably wondering what I did, and literally the most important days. I unlocked their greenhouse, then filled it with star fruit and sprinklers so that I wouldn't have to water it. With the star fruit, I would use it to turn into wine later. My house was finished with that. I got a new stove, turning all of my saved up fish into sashimi, bought a pomegranate and apple tree. Day 2, since all I did was go to the desert today, I learned that you could get fiddlehead ferns from the mines. Making it down to level 61, I got a chest with a seed maker in it. Over the night, I made it to level 10 in the mining category, and picked a prospector perk for easier coal getting. Day 3, not having to water any of my crops, I used this day to try and get closer to finishing my bundles. Starting with retrieving my steel axe and processing my geodes, I put them in the library and made my way to the secret woods to catch the wood skipped. Day 4, waking up, Evelyn brought me schematics to a potted plant that I could make. Using the rest of this day, I caught a sturgeon, put it in the community center to finish my fish bundle. Over the night, the boulder got removed. Day 5, I made my way to the mines and got a cutscene with Willie, where he gave me a sifting pan for gems and valuable stuff like that throughout the river. After that, I started the wine press for one of the bundles. Day 6, waking up, I used my hoe and hoeing artifact spots. I found a lost book, which upgraded the available slots in the library. Getting a stone yam and putting in my last bundle for the craft room, finished it, fixing the bridge over the night, unlocking the quarry. Day 7, checking out the quarry, there was a mine and heading into it and running around for a bit, I found a golden scythe. Day 8, not really much happened today other than the ice event, which had a fishing challenge to see who could catch the most fish, and of course I came out on top. Day 9, today just went to the desert. Oh yeah, forgot to say that I died. I just spent time getting ready for the next, time I head to the desert, like buying bombs, unlocking espresso, and most importantly getting distracted and playing a minigame. Day 10, desert. I got a hat this time though. Day 11 is unlocking geodes and giving them to the library. And after that, talking to Haley and getting 8 hearts with her. Now you're probably gonna ask, what happened to all the other hearts, and why didn't you tell us? Well, day 12, waking up to Gunther, he gave me a key to the sewers. After that, I opened up the mail to see that Pierre was selling bouquets. Buying one and giving it to Haley, she is now my girlfriend. Day 13, waking up, I finally went to the sewers and finding a guy named Krobus, which sold solar essence. I upgraded my hoe for the first time. Day 14, walking to the traveling merchant, I bought a poppy seed, sunflower seed, and cabbage seed. Day 15, going and grabbing my hoe, I give it right back to him to upgrade, and use this time to donate to the library. Going back to my base, I also used this time to make some more furnaces. Going to the night market, I was in hope of getting a truffle. No truffle. While there, I went on a tour in the submarine just to realize that you need a fishing pole. I didn't bring one. Day 16. Going to my greenhouse, I realized that all my store fruit were fully grown, and picking them and putting them in kegs, I saved the rest and used the evening to get more kegs. After that, I went to the night market. Again. No truffle. Again. Day 17. Continuing the process of getting more kegs, I mined for the day to get iron. Following that, I went to the night market to get nothing. Day 18, waking up and selling some starfruit for gold. I then went to the desert and finally got a prismatic shard. Day 19, going to the desert, I unlocked the galaxy sword. While there, I used the money from the previous night to buy more starfruit. Going back, I planted it, then going to the blacksmith, I got my hoe back. Day 20, I literally did nothing. Like, I'm not even joking. Day 21, all I did was just make more kegs and sold the rest of my starfruit. Day 22, same thing as yesterday, but for some reason while mining, like level 45 era, I got a prismatic shard. Going back to the farm and sold my wine, selling 30 bottles, I made $90,000 from that. 30 bottles, I made $90,000. Day 23, just making more kegs, but I did upgrade my hoe to gold. Day 24, all I did was mine. Day 25, finally, something to actually do. Going to the Christmas event, I was giving Clint as my secret gift person. Anyways, giving him a diamond, I was then approached by Evelyn. She gave me a present, that being of cookies. How thoughtful. Day 26, I retrieved my golden hoe from Clint. Guess what I did after that? I made more kegs. Day 27, literally nothing. Like nothing. Again. Day 28, the last day. Actually, something interesting happened. Going to the traveling merchant, sadly I didn't get a truffle, which was my last chance of even getting one. However, I got 10 hearts with Haley and had her event. Going back into her film room, we, Anyways, after that, I went to bed and ending this 112-day year. So, going over what I did do right and kinda wrong, I didn't get the community center done. See now, the reason I needed a truffle from the merchant was because you can't get truffles in winter. See, I didn't know that until now. Everything else I would have gotten, uh, except a pomegranate and apples, but the damn truffle. Maybe if I do a second year, I could get it done, but I'm not sure when that'll be. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, if you would, do so, be so kind, maybe consider subscribing. But continuing on with more selling out, my Twitch is in the description, so maybe follow that if you so choose to. But running out of things to say, have a damn good rest of your day, and I'll see you in a month or two when I upload again. Hopefully that won't, hopefully it won't happen, but you never know. You never know with my schedule.